All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is He's Why I Left Rap. Mark Wahlberg drops a new bombshell about Diddy. Oh, all right. Let's do it. Marky Mark.
Well, I was a little pissed about a couple of things.
I'm the realest rapper ever. I'm the realest white rapper ever. Not to know that Eminem would come, shortly after. At first, I didn't want to do it.
I had some opportunity to really come back in the music business with the best. When they came to me, we sat there together and I was like, I had to say, I can't.
Mark Wahlberg has apparently weighed in on the controversies surrounding P. Diddy, and the internet is having a field day. The celebrated actor recently dropped a bombshell that has sent shockwaves throughout the hip-hop industry, which would be discussed for weeks. Many didn't know that the first choice career of Marky Mark was rap, but he had to abandon it because of one reason, or should I say, person. What did the action star say? And does it have any bearing on the ongoing lawsuits against Diddy?
I had some opportunity to really come back in the music business with the best. When they came to me, we sat there together and I was like, I had to say, I can't.
Actor Mark Wahlberg has added salt to Diddy's injuries as the embattled CEO of Bad Boy Records undergoes investigations for several crimes. A few days ago, operatives from Homeland Security raided his New York and Los Angeles homes, turning them outside down. It isn't clear what the officers are looking for, but aerial footage from notable news outlets showed the operatives going through documents, phones, laptops, and other electronics.
Yeah, because they want to find out if he's actually a predator. So, for example, there's a really good telltale sign of someone who just predates on people, and it's generally someone who keeps like visual aids or even video copies of something that actually occurred. Like if they're keeping that, they're holding on to it, then that means they're absolutely kind of cherishing that act that was done, right? That's normally the telltale sign of someone who is actually a predator.
Though Homeland Security has remained tight-lipped about the whole situation, word on the streets suggests that the numerous lawsuits against Diddy triggered the unannounced search. For now, Diddy could do with some peace and quiet, at least as he's suffered trolls and lawsuits since last November. However, many people are bent on giving him hell, considering what he's allegedly done to his victims. One of such, according to the Grapevine, is actor Mark Wahlberg. Marky Mark, as he is affectionately called, is rumored to have said that he quit the rap industry because of Diddy. Yes, you heard right. The official story is that Marky Mark wanted to be a rapper, but chanced on acting because he wanted to make ends meet when he struggled to get his musical career off the ground. However, the unofficial story is that Wahlberg quit music because of Diddy and what he saw in the hip-hop industry. According to Deep Throat sources, the excesses he saw...
Deep Throat sources? Do those exist? If so.
And what he saw in the hip-hop industry. According to Deep Throat sources, the excesses he saw at Diddy's house and in studios across the nation forced his decision to quit music and focus on movies. However, the sources claim that you wouldn't hear this from the Father Stu star, as he's planning to make a comeback into the rap industry and doesn't want to upset his future record label. Initially, Mark Wahlberg wanted to follow in the footsteps of his older brother, Donnie Wahlberg, a founding member of the boy band New Kids on the Block. He was actually a member of the original band, but had to quit to pursue rap, his foremost passion. He founded Marky Mark and Funky Bunch with his friends Hector the Inspector, Ashley Ace, and DJ T in 1991. The group went on to release the first project, Music for the People, earning a hit with their single Good Vibrations. Many fans started warming up to the new group and their rap as it resonated well with them. They also enjoyed another hit with their second single, Wild Side, which peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot Singles sales chart, getting a gold certification in the process. Things were going great for the group when they opened for the New Kids on the Block during their last tour. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch began to spread their wings when they launched their own video game, but the venture received relative success compared to their music. Undeterred, the group released their second LP, You Gotta Believe. However, it didn't yield the success that their debut album achieved, getting only a minor hit single with their title track. Things began to go downhill for the group as they struggled to hit the initial heights they achieved when they first started. In 1992, Mark Wahlberg made things worse for the group when he co-signed Shabba Ranks' comments that people should be crucified. The gay
guys, this is not even the only issue that Mark Wahlberg has actually gone through. If you go back to the time when he was in this era, or even before then, he was absolutely a menace to many people, bro. Okay, to the point where he may have blinded someone. All right. just so you know, he's throwing rocks at people. He had a troubled youth, bro, for real. So it does not at all surprise me that he would have, aligned with Shabba Ranks' opinion.
Community rose up in arms against the rapper and called for his cancellation. They requested all the brands to drop him as an ambassador and discouraged fans from patronizing his music. His comments brought him so much heat that he had to relocate to Germany to revive his music career. In Germany, the burgeoning rapper signed with East West Records and worked with the late reggae artist Prince Idol Joe. Finally, Marky Mark breathed new life into his music and his career took off once again. His track United became a hit in Germany, topping several of their local charts and earning immense praise from fans and critics. Seeing how their initial project was well received by the Germans, Wahlberg and Prince Ital Joe teamed up for a second project, the remix album, in 1995 under Ultraphonic Records. His success in Germany allowed him to put together a musical act called One Love with him as its producer and also sometimes its lead singer. He also started production on a third studio album. He featured in their song titled That's the Way I Like It, which received relative success compared to his own projects. Soon, his label started pushing him in the direction that he didn't want to go. They wanted him to have a tougher outlook, similar to Eminem, and do gangster rap, but the young Marky Mark's head was in another space. He had served time in jail for attempting to eliminate Johnny Trin, a Vietnamese-American veteran who fought
Look at his eye. I didn't know his name, but yeah.
alongside the American forces in the Vietnam War. He was sentenced to 2 years in jail, but only served 45 days due to his release. Now a changed person, Marky Mark wanted to do music that would positively...
I'm not sure 45 days in jail has the ability to change someone for, like, specifically something that is going to be a lifelong injury to someone, but he was famous.
Due to his release. Now a changed person, Marky Mark wanted to do music that would positively influence his fans and unite all the racial classes in America. However, his music label didn't want that. They wanted a street persona that would talk about sleeping with women, doing beefing with his mother, and calling out anybody who disagreed with him. In an interview, Wahlberg stated that he would have succeeded if his label had bought into his idea. I think I could have been a lot more successful had I been allowed to do what I wanted to do. I think the record company had one specific idea, and they wanted to go for that.
Yeah, they wanted, obviously, someone that had the ability to compete with Eminem.
Wahlberg explained. Initially, he went with the labels, especially because his brother Donnie was successful and he was broke. I had just gotten out of jail and I wanted to make a record. I saw my brother making millions of dollars and I'm still struggling, so I kind of compromised a little bit. However, the two parties continued to argue about the direction that they wanted Wahlberg to take until he reached a breaking point and decided not to cave in to the demands of his label. But when they continued to push me further in the opposite direction, that's when I decided not to make another record and to wait out my contract, Mark said. Apparently, Mark had seen enough evil, debauchery, and corruption in the industry and decided he didn't want to be a part of it. He had lived through the disastrous East Coast-West Coast rivalry that claimed the lives of two of the finest rappers of their era, Tupac and Biggie Smalls. He had seen the havoc that people like Diddy had wreaked on the lives of men and women in the industry, and he wanted to chart a new course. Officially, Diddy and Mark Wahlberg crossed paths somewhere in around 2013 when the two launched a high-performance alkaline water. The business took off to a bright start and is currently performing well on the market. However, word on the street suggests that the two men met when Marky Mark was desperately trying to revive his music career after leaving his East West record label. He was looking for a fresh start, a positive start, far away from his checkered past, and he thought Bad Boy Records was going to help him. Now, the reason Mark didn't end up as a Bad Boy signee is subject to many speculations, one being that Diddy allegedly requested a head. Now, that might sound unusual and
A what? You requested what?
completely fabricated.
Guys, what's interesting here is that I definitely did not know that he ever wanted to make a comeback. I thought that personally, he left basically, rap in the 90s, early 90s at that. I never knew any of these other details here. Also didn't know that he actually made a water company with Diddy. That's interesting. Let's see where this takes us. Hopefully they kind of filled in those blanks.
Story, but it could be a distant possibility if Jaguar Wright's words are anything to go by. A few years ago, the I Can't Wait singer alleged that Diddy was in the business of sleeping with new male artists who came to him for financial help. She narrated a story of a lawyer who worked for Bad Boy Records, but had to quit because she chanced on Diddy receiving head from singer and actor Christopher Williams. According to her, the female lawyer went up to Diddy's office to get some papers signed. On getting there, she realized realized the door opened and she invited herself in, only to see Williams kneeling in between Diddy's legs.
Right. Right.
The lawyer quickly got out of the room, leaving the two men to do their own thing. Throughout the whole of that day, Diddy didn't say anything to the lawyer. However, he confronted her the following, asking her about what she had seen in his office. The petrified lawyer then asked why the CEO didn't lock his office door before getting down to business. This question apparently infuriated Diddy, who claimed that the building that housed his office was his, and he could do anything anywhere in the building, and no one could question him.
I mean, technically, okay.
He replied, "I'll do whatever the F I want to do in my building. It's power, see?" Diddy purportedly told the lawyer. "If I could make a man my D, I could make people do anything for money." Wright continued.
Bro, where are you getting these quotes from? Bro, what happened?
Her narration. She was a wonderful woman and she was a brilliant attorney and she thought she was signing up for the ride of her life, she continued. You know, she was going to be head of legal at Bad Boy Entertainment and be a female. Like, that was a big deal. Until she accidentally walked in on her boss's office and caught him getting head from a movie star, which he said was done for nothing more than an exercise of power. R&B singer Chris
That actually sounds plausible. It does. That sounds realistic.
Brown appeared to echo Jaguar Wright's sentiments when he stated that he got rejected by Diddy because he didn't dance. Many fans thought that the superhero singer meant literal dancing, which he's extremely good at. However, other fans believe that Chris Brown's use of the word dance had an underlying meaning that wasn't apparent to the casual listener. According to them, the no guidance singer meant he didn't dance to Diddy's music, which involved sleeping with him. Now, given the backdrop of what allegedly happened to Christopher Wallace at Diddy's office, the fans couldn't be further
Bro, don't be disrespectful, but let's continue.
From the truth. Besides, Chris wouldn't be the only one to have asserted that Diddy wanted his derriere before signing him. A pending court case filed by music producer Rodney Jones Jr. alleged that Diddy tried to force him into S-acts when he worked with him. Rodney Jones, who goes by the nickname Lil Rod,
Bro, this video is making me uncomfortable, bro.
explained that the music mogul attempted several times to lure him into his bed, but he resisted. To convince him, the music mogul stated that he had slept with the likes of Usher, Meek Mill, and Stevie J.
What?
Now, the lawsuit didn't specifically mention Usher and Meek Mill, but gave clues that perfectly fit those musicians.
What?
The lawsuit stated that Mr. Combs had S relations with a rapper who hails from Philadelphia and dated Nicki Minaj, apparently referring to Meek Mill. The suit also continued that the other recently performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Las Vegas residency. Usher put on an awesome show at the latest installment of the Super Bowl and recently celebrated his successful Las Vegas residency. As expected, Meek Mill has denied having any S relations with the founder of Bad Boy Entertainment.
I mean, I could pretty much have told you that without even hearing that.
Taking to his social media pages, the I'm a Boss rapper wrote, "I'm from Philly, I don't do or freaky ass Molly. Nobody won't even offer me because I'm that heavy. No man or what would ever approach me about gay activity and the whole place don't get flipped. Woke up seeing this on every blog like they know I'm coming, lol. Y'all see these rappers with gay styles, they want that look. Leave that too. Them I come from that S surviving in the jungle. I have the right to say I ain't gay and I'll trash anybody that play with my manhood. P don't control me, but it's like a high, one love to the gay people, but that juicy PI do it for me. I done ran red lights to get that feeling y'all weird on here like devils." However, fans weren't buying his denial, preferring to believe Lil Rod's account over Meek Mill's. The fans even pulled up an old video of Meek Mill chilling in a pool with Diddy calling him daddy and telling him I love you.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
Fans thought his clip perfectly reflected what Lil Rod was trying to explain in his lawsuit. They felt that Diddy took advantage of Meek Mill's vulnerability when he was just starting to sleep with him. Thus, it is possible Wahlberg was subjected to the same demands when he needed help to revive his career, but he held his ground. He had spiraled into teenage rebellion and had walked the path of darkness. He wanted a label that would project his ideas and values, but it seemed Bad Boy wasn't ready to offer him that. Moreover, even if it did, he didn't want to pay the price that allegedly included offering his derriere on a silver platter. Another person who has openly accused Diddy of sleeping with upcoming artists in exchange for a record deal is internet personality Josh Ostrovsky.
I walked in a room I shouldn't have walked into and I saw him like hooking up with a dude. Basically, like full spooning situation. This guy Felix the House Cat, who's like a producer.
Narrating the incident on the Not Skinny But Not Fat pod.
Oh, Diddy, you going to jail, bro. You going to jail. And I'm going to tell you why. Because now things are getting a little bit more deep. Like before, it was just like, okay, yeah, maybe this is a lot of hearsay. People are talking all types of crazy about what's actually happening, right? But with all this new information over the last like week, oh, we got a problem, bro. We do. And like, I don't care that you like men. I don't care about that at all. It's the least important aspect of it all. But the point here is that, nah, I don't believe nothing you're saying anymore. I think that's my issue. So, yeah, it's too much. I'm looking up the lawsuit right now, bro. Okay, here we go.
Podcast, the entrepreneur explained that he saw Diddy hooking up with an up-and-coming music producer at a party in Miami. This was something I've been talking about for years because it's now a documented thing that I saw him at a party in Miami. Some real black excellence that I was not deserving to be at, but I went with a DJ. I took ecstasy and ended up wandering around on some mansion on Star Island. I guess it was his mansion. It's all hot black people, and then just one moron with an afro. They're like, whose man is this? Ostrovsky then mentioned how he chanced on Diddy spooning with the music producer. I walked in a room I shouldn't have walked into, and I saw him hooking up with a dude, basically. He continued about Diddy, like full spooning situation. On seeing the situation, Ostrovsky walked out of the room to a different part of the mansion. It wasn't over yet. Diddy and his men tracked him down and allegedly him not to breathe a word of what he witnessed to any other person. However, he told the story on one podcast, and Diddy's reps contacted him to change the story and claim he was just making things up. Whatever. I then told the story on a podcast. His people called me and were like, you need to say you were joking. Say that you're a funny guy and you made it up for the views. No, but I did not. I saw it and he saw me when I came in. Yes, I was a little scared because everyone in the room stopped. I opened the door and was like, is this the bathroom? Everyone was like, no, this is a room where male celebrities hook up. And then he basically had people call me and me. The would do nothing to deter Ostrovsky. He would go on to narrate the same incident in an interview on Hot 97, but the radio station refused to air it for obvious reasons.
Right.
I talked about it on Hot 97 and they wouldn't air it. Hot 97 always kept me on a pre-record because they were like, what are you gonna say? They would never let me do a live interview. I told the story, and then afterward, Ebro was like, I'm not gonna run this interview because Diddy is insane. He then described what Diddy allegedly did to Kid Cudi because he suspected the rapper was dating Cassie, whom he had just broken up with. He blew up Kid Cudi's car. No, I wanted to get unalived by Diddy, but now everyone just found out. Kid Cudi finally told the story. I've been saying this for years. I've been talking about this Diddy issue for years, and now it's out there. Ostrovsky's statements highlighted the issues that new artists go through before getting signed to big record labels. Worse still, it reveals the decadence that had plagued the music industry for centuries. His words add to the ever-increasing SA allegations being leveled against the CEO of Bad Boy Entertainment. The whole brouhaha began when Cassie Ventura sued Diddy for multiple crimes, including beating her up and subjecting her to several inhumane treatments. According to the lawsuit filed in the state of New York, Diddy would force Cassie to sleep with total strangers and record the entire session. Later, he'll show it to his friends and they'll have a good laugh. When the lawsuit was announced, Diddy vehemently denied the accusations, insisting on his innocence. However, less than 24 hours after filing, his lawyers called Cassie's and both parties reached an amicable settlement that would satisfy both parties. Though the
But wasn't she asking for money like before this even happened though? And he just kept saying no, and then she took him to court for all these things, and then all of a sudden she's fine with the money that he gave her. I don't know. That whole situation is weird, bro. There has to be something else.
And both parties reached an amicable settlement that would satisfy both parties. Though the details of the settlement weren't disclosed, many fans speculated that it would be in the millions, with many people tipping $30 million. Most fans saw the out-of-court
that's nothing for him.
Settlement as an admission of guilt, because why would Diddy settle if he thought he had solid facts and evidence to fight the case?
Because it was messing up his business, most likely, to be honest. The reason why people settle generally, it could be an admission of guilt, sure, why not, right? But more likely, it's because this is messing up my business. I need this to go away.
Meanwhile, Diddy's lawyers claimed that the settlement didn't constitute an admission of guilt. We have decided to resolve this matter amicably, Diddy said in a statement on November 18th. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love. Diddy's lawyer, Ben Brafman, then released a statement that explained the settlement, claiming it was an admission of guilt, and neither does it compromise his denial of the allegations. Just so we're clear, a decision to settle a lawsuit, especially in 2023, is in no way an admission of wrongdoing. He continued, Mr. Combs' decision to settle the lawsuit does not in any way undermine his flat-out denial of the claims. He is happy they got to a mutual settlement and wishes Miss Ventura the best. As if Cassie had opened the floodgates, several women filed lawsuits against Diddy, alleging that he'd SA'd them while they were drunk or high. The first woman after Cassie was Joey Dickerson Neal, who claimed that she met Diddy while she was a student at the university. According to the lawsuit, Joey and Diddy went out on a date, after which the rapper invited her to his house. On reaching the Diddy's home, she was given some drinks, which she believed were lined with illicit that made her lose control. Realizing she couldn't consent to whatever was going
This must have happened like many, many years ago, I'm guessing, because
on, Diddy took advantage of her and slept with her. To make matters worse, the rapper recorded the entire incident and showed it to her friends. This damaged Joey's spirit and messed up her brain, causing her to spiral into depression. Thus, she had to check into rehab to help her deal with the trauma that the CEO of Bad Boy Entertainment put her through. Next was another woman who preferred to remain anonymous and thus went by the name Jane Doe. Narrating her she claimed she and her female friend met Diddy and R&B singer Aaron Hall at an industry event. They became acquainted and then they followed Diddy and Hall to Hall's apartment when the event came to an end. At Hall's apartment, the ladies were given drinks laced with and then divided among the men. Hall took her friend to one of the rooms, while Diddy took her to another room, where he slept with her against her will. When Diddy was done, he got out of the room while the lady dressed. Within a few minutes of Diddy leaving the room, Hall also barged in and slept with her. At that point, she was devastated, as she didn't expect the two men to take turns sleeping with her without her consent. She ran out of the room and out of Hall's apartment without looking for her friend. She later learned that her friend suffered the same fate as hers. A few days after the unfortunate event, Diddy reportedly showed up at their door, demanding if they had told a soul about the event. She then choked the lady and to deal with her if a word of the incident ever got into the public domain.
It's in the public domain, bro.
Just when the dust was settling on her lawsuit, another woman sued Diddy for SAing her when she was just in high school. She claimed that she met Andre Harrell, former president of Uptown Records, who introduced her to Bad Boy Records CEO. Later, she was invited onto Diddy's private jet and flown to his studio in New York. Just as in the cases of the ladies before her, she was given drinks with making her lose control.
Guys, that's not me bleeping it out. I have no idea what they're actually saying.
Diddy then slept with her against her wishes and left her crouching on the floor of the studios. As part of the lawsuit, the lady added several pictures of her sitting on Diddy's lap, as well as pictures showing her and Diddy's crew members. These allegations gave fans a sneak peek of what actually went on in Diddy's world. Many fans concluded that the music mogul was evil and needed to do time for his alleged crimes. However, Diddy has always maintained his innocence, claiming that the ladies were only taking advantage of the law to make some money. However, many people are not buying his excuse because they cannot fathom how all these women would have similar stories. Interestingly, all these lawsuits purport that the incident happened in the 90s, just about when Mark Wahlberg was looking to revive his music career. So it is possible Mark either knew about all these or had heard about them, informing his decision to quit music altogether. He probably knew that he wouldn't get the redemption he was looking for in music, given the evil that some of its were perpetuating. So he had to find solace in movies. And though it has its own problems, at least he can choose which movies to feature in. So all in all, we can say that the Father Stu actor might have been right in dumping the hip-hop circuit for music, given all the allegations surrounding Diddy. This brings us to the end of today's episode. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so this is my opinion, really quickly. I'm going to go ahead and say that just by declining to involve yourself in like the hip hop scene, that doesn't really take you out of Hollywood in general. And I think the culture itself is just celebrity culture. So you didn't really do much, because Hollywood apparently is equally as absolutely disturbing as whatever Diddy could even muster. All right. And then based off of all this brand new information here, right? If this is true, then this is really terrible for Diddy. All right. Yeah. And the thing is, if all these women are saying, for the most part, the same exact thing, bro, this happened. Who are we kidding here? Right? Like, who are we kidding? I mean, Cosby went away for less than what this is. Right? But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.